All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, our power, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, through the Son. Call Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh, and double honors to our apostles and elders who taught us his truth, which rule well. While Shalom to you, Aki, which puts his word across the four corners of this globe with our truth and sincerity by Hashem, Ha-Racha, HaKodesh. I just want to get a quick topic. I'm name this lesson somewhere along the lines of the breath. The main topic being, how majority of Jake, matter of fact, I'm gonna just, get right to the precept. I'm saying to, explain it better. But this is Ezekiel 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord Yahweh Shai was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shai and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. And it caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O you dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Thus said the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So what are these dry bones that, it's talking about? That it's us talking about, I'm saying, the current state, of our people, the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You jakes that, that don't know, what you are. You know what I'm saying? You jakes that ignore this truth or whatever, right? I'm saying, you go about your daily lives, not knowing, just not woken up, just no breath in you, man. Just dead. You're literally, just dry bones. There's no structure, about your body, spiritually, man. You know what I'm saying? No sinews, no flesh, and let alone that breath, man. Because you got, I'm saying, you got jakes that are, that in the circumcision that know they're Israelites, but, they don't got that breath. They got the sinews, they got the flesh, right? They got, they got the, the body, but they're still a corpse, man. They're not, they're not, they don't have the breath. They lack the breath. These other camps out here, that are going off in the doctrine, telling you that you can have sex on the Sabbath, shit like that. Still getting fucking lineups and trimming their beards and all that. You know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this real quick. Because it's all about the breath, man. You know what I'm saying? The breath is what makes you live. Proverbs 21, verse 16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You know what I'm saying? John 7, verse, I'll start at verse 37. In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Living. I'm saying living water, man. You know? Majority of our people are dead, man. I'm saying, but the Lord has reserved this secret, not unto the world, but unto a remnant, a very small group, of chosen, Israelites, man. That he reserved for himself, man. I'm saying, before the foundations of the earth, man. For them to, at their respected times in this life, for them to come across Yahweh Shai, for them to come across this truth, this truth, and being converted and healed, and for them to be, redeemed from this earth, and when the time comes, when the Lord come back, to deliver his people, man. It's all about the election, man. And when you see these Jakes, still don't get it, still be, still in that dry bones state. It's because the Lord has put the spirit upon them to be in that spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Stumbling, bro. So like, I believe it's Romans 9. Verse 33. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling block and rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. Let me get this quick one too. In Thessalonians, I believe, This is Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. In fact, I'll start up a little bit. Verse 10, and with all deceitfulness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved. Jake, if you keep reading on up, it talks about that wicked being revealed, which is Esau, the elites, and you know what I'm saying, the Illuminati, quote unquote, so called, they're being exposed in these last days. You know what I'm saying? Their treacherous behavior, their acts throughout history upon the world, and they have the influence upon the world. You know what I'm saying? They the world's given, into the hands of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? So they got the influence upon the world and really, you know what I'm saying, the minds of the people. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the minds of Jake. Jake killing each other. Jake want to be a thug. Jake want to, Jake chasing a bag. Jake want to be a football player. Jake want to be NBA nigga. Jake want to be a faggot. Shit. YouTube might take down this video because I said that fucking word, but it's whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit and power of y'all, but I hope they don't. But, Jake want to be, just sodomite. You know what I'm saying? Jake, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, in this world, you know the different routes that Esau has, in the snares in the minds of our people. You know what I'm saying? That they follow. Jake want to be a trap nigga. Jake want to do this. Jake want to do that. Right? Yeah, Jake want to be a Christian. Jake want to be a Muslim. Jake want to be, all these different routes. But this truth, man. All these different snares and stumbling blocks. To keep you away from this truth. And the Lord is using Esau. All these different strong delusions, man. These are strong delusions, man. That's the fear of the Lord, man. The Lord can literally, you know what I'm saying, keep you locked up mentally, chasing vanity, man. Straight vanity, man. No substance, man. No truth. And you just really think that's the truth. You're saying believe it. It's the fear of the Lord, man. The Lord can really blind you, man. And the rest were blinded. I'm going to get that precept also. Verse 11, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness, man. And the Lord, he sends forth his prophets to warn you. I'm saying that to cry out and spare none. I'm saying, to tell you you're doing wrong. I'm saying, to call you out in your shit, man. And they like, I'm saying that we perfect, man. Because we was in the same condition, the same boat. I'm saying, and I'm saying, the same thing for our teachers. We always caught up in the Babylonian sauce, Babylonian juice. And we just woke up out of it, man. We're not perfect, man. Like Jake want to look at the prophets and, the highways and byways and think, and think that we just, man, we're nobody, man. We're just like you, man. The difference is, we're striving to be made perfect, man. We're choosing forth to repent. We're turning back. We put down the blunts, we put down the gun, we put down the whatever, man. Yeah, brothers, that was, in this world, it'd be looked at as like a promising, profession, a promising career or whatever, and brothers forsook that for the Lord, man. Because, it may have been in the way for serving Yahweh Hashem outside. I'm saying, or there are many other examples, man. I'm saying that brothers did, I'm saying, in the fear of the Lord, I'm saying, to serve him, man. what I'm saying?